There are hundreds of thousands of research projects underway at this very point in time. As scientists and researchers pore over hours of data and measurements, they bring us closer and closer to the answers we have been looking for. So today, here at Unexplained Mysteries, we will be taking a look at 3 incredible scientific discoveries. Astronomers detect a color-changing asteroid for the first time. Asteroids are interesting enough objects as it is. Their composition can make them worth millions, if not billions. Their impact has been species-ending, and if that was not enough, it seems as though now they are changing color. Asteroids are a key part of astronomical research. The small, rocky objects that orbit our sun can clue us in to lots of strange happenings, though they seem to be just as interesting too. The asteroid 6478 Gault has been part of scientific observations for a while now. It wasted no time in making itself known as the star of the show, first being spotted as notable due to the rare double trail of dust being left in its wake. It seems now, though, that the show is far from over, as 6478 Gault has a new act: changing color. This is the first time that we have seen a definitive color change happen in a real-time observation, with scientists not suspecting before that asteroids have these color-changing abilities among them. 6478 Gault is shedding the reddish hue that these asteroids are known for and is donning a fresh new blue look. This observation was conducted using NASA's Infrared Telescope facility, located in Hawaii. The newly formed blue tone is in the near-infrared spectrum, according to this data. Scientists in charge of this research have speculated that the dust on the outside surface of the asteroid is slowly being pulled away as it continues its orbit. What makes this even more intriguing is the rapid pace that this took place in. Over the course of just 2 nights, 6478 Gault had shed its red tones and taken on the blue. Astronomer Michael Marset from MIT said, "That was a very big surprise." As he continued, he began to explain the theory that the red tone came from the dust, which has since been lost in space, and that the color change is the reveal of the underlying layers. So, what caused the red color in the dust in the first place? 6478 Gault sits on the inner region of the asteroid belt, in between the orbits of Mars and Jupiter. At a rough distance of 345.6 million kilometers away from the Sun, the asteroid has been faced with millions of years' worth of sun exposure, gradually and slowly burning the dust on the surface of the asteroid, resulting in the deep reddish color. Researchers are now suggesting that this red coating may be incredibly thin, possibly only a few grains, meaning it is now being lost. The material hiding underneath has not had anywhere near as much sun exposure and has not been irradiated to the same degree, meaning the rocky silicate material with a blue tone is yet to be burned by the sun. Between the color shift and the double tails, there is something worth noting about 6478 Gault. While comets are famed for their tails, asteroids are not. Comets are typically icy, with the tails being the result of ice melting from the sun. With asteroids, however, the rocky or metallic objects are much closer to the sun in much warmer environments, where there is not any ice left to melt. So, how come 6478 Gault is not only changing color, but also simultaneously rocky and has 2 tails? For now, we can only speculate about the strange asteroid. One theory includes this being a strange result from the centrifugal force created by the rapid spinning, though we cannot know for certain. The asteroid belt is a place full of research possibilities and endless discoveries. Will any other asteroids follow suit and change color? Or is there something particularly unique about this asteroid? The Hungry Blob at the edge of the universe. Astronomers have some rather fantastic and somewhat amusing names for their projects, discoveries, and equipment. Whether you are giggling at the European Southern Observatory's VLT, that's Very Large Telescope, or impressed at the naming of TESS, NASA's Transiting Exoplanet Survey satellite, there is about to be another astronomical object's name that will stick in your head. A blob. The Very Hungry Blob. Quite unlike the Very Hungry Caterpillar, was discovered in 2009, though it has been sitting in our universe for much longer. So, while the Very Hungry Blob is a great name, the real name is the Lyman Alpha Blob, and we have a lot of questions about exactly what it is. Astronomer Masami Uchi working in the observatories of the Carnegie Institution for Science in Pasadena, California, was the lead researcher of the team who wound up spotting and pinpointing the blob. Uchi and his team believe that the blobs that have been seen are a series of small galaxies, merging together to form one larger, far bigger galaxy. This is not the only suggestion going around, however. Some have suggested that cold gas moving into the galaxy is essentially feeding it, allowing it to grow, and other astronomers have suggested that the glowing blob is a cloud of gas rising in temperature as a result of a nearby supermassive black hole. What makes this observation all the more interesting is how far it is from Earth. At the time of discovery, it was the fourth most distant object we had ever observed. This is a staggering 12.9 billion light-years away. Given how long it takes light to travel, our observations are essentially looking back in time, as by the time we are observing this blob, it will have aged a great deal and certainly will not look like this anymore. In fact, this blob is about 12.9 billion years old, bringing us right back to just after the formation of the universe, which is estimated to be between 13 billion and 14 billion years old. Uchi and the research team managed to see by looking at the infrared light that was coming from space. This is a wavelength outside of the visible light spectrum and can be described as feeling like heat. This strange blob clocks in at a diameter half the size of our own Milky Way. So if it is a larger galaxy forming, it was still small in size when we made these observations. However, scientists do not anticipate it remaining small for too long. Predictions and estimations all seem to indicate that this blob is a small galaxy having a growth spurt. It had the equivalent of 40 billion suns inside it when it was first observed, though could easily have a great deal more now, absorbing and taking in more stars as it goes. A strange blob dating back to the start of the universe is a peculiar discovery, though it goes to show just how much we are waiting to find. Scientists find evidence of an extreme solar tsunami deep within Earth's ice. The world is full of odd things for us to uncover, events we never knew could happen. 2022 research has revealed evidence of what is being described as a solar tsunami moving through the ice by Greenland and Antarctica. This research has come from a Lund University research team in Sweden. Our Sun is, of course, the centre of our solar system. We all orbit the one star which is approximately halfway through its lifespan. The Sun releases energy, though when there is more activity taking place on the Sun, there is more energy released. If there is enough energy, then we can end up facing geomagnetic storms, resulting in power cuts. Sometimes they are short-term but very intense releases of energy from our Sun. These are solar flares. Solar flares result in high radiation levels and charged particles. We have a lot of strange and dangerous space weather to protect ourselves from. Luckily for us, our magnetic field deflects a lot of damage for us. Even with the Earth's magnetic field on our team, solar flares can interrupt power grids, GPS systems, and even airline and military communications. Raymond Muschler, a geology researcher at Lund University, explained that the discovery of a solar tsunami has come from studying drill cores from Greenland and Antarctica. These cores saw evidence of a solar storm that hit Earth during the Sun's passive phase an estimated 9,200 years ago. The research team were scanning these drill cores for specific radioactive isotopes, beryllium-10 and chlorine-36. A lot of the time, the change in atmosphere can destroy this sort of sample, though these particles can be preserved in ice. Muschler described the team as pleasantly surprised when these results were found, as the work is expensive in both money and time. He explained that this research demonstrates a giant solar storm in connection with low solar activity. This means we can expect a geomagnetic storm to impact us here on Earth, resulting in power cuts, airplane divergences, and for our space satellite navigation systems to become unstable. So print off your maps and charge up your phones, there's a storm on its way. The discoveries we are making with each and every day are impressive, allowing us to prep for the future and understand what happened well in the past. What will we discover next? But what do you make of these major scientific discoveries that have expanded what we know about our planet and beyond? Be sure to let us know your thoughts in the comment section below and help us by growing this community while working to solve these unexplained mysteries. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more videos.